Show. And so today's show, guys, is stories about, one of the things that my producer and I were talking about, because Vanessa was going to be out, and we're like, man, we're trying to find another co-host for today, and and it was just a little difficult. But one of the bright ideas that my producer came up with, saying that you got a broader audience now, and they want to know who you are, Cleto. So we're going to kind of share a little bit about me, since we got a broader audience. I know we have our regulars that know me already, and I'm grateful for. But we're going to kind of talk a little bit about. I'm gonna try to make some of these stories. Some of them are really like near and dear to my heart, as well as try to put in some funny in there. So sit back, relax. It's going to be an awesome, awesome morning, awesome show. And the hardest part for me this morning is to get past all this delicious smells going on with these treats. So I'm very kind of looking forward to that. Let me just put on the computer here so I know where we're at. Bob Stewart says, good morning, Lynette. Wow, you look handsome. My wife says, wow, you look handsome. I don't get that too often, but she's part of what we're going to be talking about a little bit today. For those of you that don't know, last night I put on Facebook, I put on there we were talking yesterday, Vanessa and I, about who she thinks, was it Vanessa? Yeah, Vanessa was saying that she thinks Christopher Walken is very handsome, and that she thought, he was a very handsome man. And I'm thinking to myself, I would have never thought Christopher Walken as that, but some may, some do. I know some women that just adore Sean Connery. They love Mel Gibson. They love Harrison Ford. And it made me think about something as I was watching First Take yesterday. And I said, I'm going to post this because I want to make sure it's not just me. I think so. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying. Who is the one person that you think, man, nobody else would probably think is attractive, but you do? You do. Like Sigourney Weaver. Like I mentioned that the other day. Sigourney Weaver, Jessica Lange. These women to me are like sexy women. And I think they're attractive. They're very attractive. And the only reason I bring that up today before I get into my subject of this, to talk about is because it was something that I thought when I watched First Take. I go, I'm looking at the team. I go, is it just me, or does anybody else find this, find her attractive? And I don't know. You let me know. Y'all know who she is. She's a WNBA. She was a superstar. She's now an analyst for ESPN. Seems like a real nice person. Played for UConn, that kind of thing. So, you know, um, that was again the show. Let me know who you think is your celebrity, person that you think is attractive that a lot of people might not think is attractive. Danny DeVito. Somebody said Danny DeVito. Oh no, that's my son saying I look like Danny DeVito. That was not very cool. He should have walked home from school after that one. But what are you gonna do? So Clifton Simmons is laughing so hard. He's got all these laughing emojis on. So I don't know. I thought she was. I told my producer Rebecca Lobo last night. I never heard a man laugh so hard in my life. But yeah, it is what it is. I think she's very attractive. I don't know. It's because she reminded me of a friend of mine from school. But like I said, I don't know. I thought maybe. Anyhow, what did you guys? How was your? What have you been doing for Easter? What have you been doing to prepare, get ready? It's right around the corner, guys. One of the things that I remember growing up is that, and I told my wife this the other day, and I mentioned it yesterday on the show about, how we used to dye hard-boiled eggs and we'd go find them. Well, if you never found that hard-boiled egg, that would leave a stench like you wouldn't believe. I mean, I remember we had eggs in our Easter basket that was like 3 weeks after Easter, and it just stank up the place. I was like, good night, man. I think Dave Bautista is so freaking hot. See, Lynn said, Andrew said, yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of people might not find Bautista, as, pretty hot, but, it's like There's Vin Diesel lovers, of course, the million Johnny Depp lovers out there. You know, Keanu Reeves. Who's the other one? Who is the other one? Ma'am, who would you say is your favorite celebrity crush that you think some Ben Affleck? There you go. That's another one.
There's no one else like him.
There's no one else like him. Wow. See?
With that Boston accent.
That Boston accent. You know, we're gonna go to the park, have a yacht. Yeah. Yeah, it's Boston up for you. And what are you gonna do? You know, it is what it is. Huh? And then J-Lo. Yep, J-Lo came in the mix. J-Lo came in the mix. But J-Lo's like an absolute favorite of everybody's. Like you want those people that are kind of like the Danny DeVitos, you know, and the Ben Afflecks, and what's the guy that played Robert De Niro? Really? Like old Robert De Niro or like young? Really? Huh. Steve Martin? Steve Martin too?
And Dean, his friend, the one from the Murders in the Building.
Martin Short. Wow. Man, you got to get out more often, man. Well, you're naming everybody that's just right there. Good morning, Chrissy. How you doing? Celebrity crush would be Patrick Swayze, Bautista Mercy, Yolanda Gutierrez. You know, and again, if you're just tuning in, my celebrity person I thought was very attractive was Rebecca Lobo from ESPN, the analyst. You know, she came on, and I was like, man, you know, does anybody else think she's kind of hot? You know, is it just me? And that's why I posted that thing last night. So I told you guys I would read your comments on the show, and that's exactly what I'm doing, because you guys are part of the show, a huge part of the show. Your comments, keep them coming. I'm doing everything today. Hosting, reading the comments. Mallory, my daughter's on, and she says, hi. Now, here's the other thing. Was speaking of my Mallory, she had me watch the, no, she didn't have me watch. She asked me to watch the Eras Tour with her, and I decided to watch it. Now, I'll be honest. I've been watching this little girl since she was, I don't know, 19 or something, when my daughter was like into Taylor Swift. I saw this tour, and I'm looking at Taylor Swift. I'm thinking, dang, I felt wrong in saying to, like, Taylor? Wow, she is pretty hot for 30-year-old, 33-year-old, or whatever she is. And I'm like, man, it's so weird how I just see her as that little girl singing, and then she was doing her thing, and I'm like, wow. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, 1989 was the era that I really am kind of fond of. It's a nice, good movie. I haven't finished seeing it yet because it's so long. Movie. I haven't finished seeing it yet because it's so long for the acoustic era or something.
I don't know what to do. Who do I call?
Do you know what it's like to be injured and helpless? Do you appreciate it when someone does not accept responsibility for an accident that they caused? I don't. and I don't back down from a fight. I will not stand by and watch my client suffer, so nothing you can say or do will stop me from getting my client the money they deserve. I've taken on many cases like this one, and trust me when I say, you're no different. No more negotiating. My client will get compensated for their injuries so they can get back to what matters most. Serious injuries require a serious lawyer. At Marco Crawford Law, we are serious about getting you justice.
The Texas Weather Connection with meteorologist Robert Luna. From spring to summer, fall to winter, stay ahead of severe weather with your meteorologist Robert Luna.
And a perfect day to start spring break with temperatures in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees, and we are officially at the high of 88 degrees out there. I love telling people about the weather, talking about maybe the different weather patterns we get. We get into rainy patterns here in San Antonio. We get into warm patterns. We've gotten some cold weather this year. Temperatures in the 60s as we go through Tuesday.
My name is Michael Lugo. I have the Lugo Group with San Antonio Portfolio Keller Williams Heritage. So the biggest life lesson that I've learned thus far, to never take things for granted. I've been through quite a bit in my career. I've really hit rock bottom. I've failed numerous times, and I never gave up. And that's something that I've always learned and will continue to do. Through all the obstacles and adversities I've been through, I'm extremely blessed to be at where I'm today, and very grateful that I can continue helping families get into their dream homes.
kind of, you know, for me, my journey has been kind of crazy. It's kind of like, when I was a young lad, I was very ambitious as far as wanting to be one of the best comedians in the world. And is there like everything? There's different wants and likes that come about. And one of the things for me was the fact that I was kind of misguided in some areas to how life was. And one of the things for me that people always ask and say, why are you so transparent, with your faith? And it's because it's something that's near and dear to my heart. My relationship with my Heavenly Father is a big one. I don't always get it right at times, and I tend to slip sometimes and let stuff come over on, kind of come through and get to me, and then I got to check myself, because there's a peace that you find within your relationship with Christ. And, everybody's going to celebrate, or a lot of believers and people of faith, of the Christian faith. This week is special because it tells the story of a man who decided to pick up that burden of taking it, the responsibility for everybody in this world. And it was something that I never knew at a young age. I was Catholic. I was not a practicing Catholic. I went on the mandatory dates. I went on Easter and Christmas and paid my $5 and I was good. And I thought that's what religion was. I thought, then I found out there was a big difference between religion and spirituality. And again, guys, I know this is not the most popular thing to talk about, but it being Holy Week, it just seemed like the perfect time for those that don't know what this man did 2,000 years ago on a cross. And again, being in the comedy world, I have a lot of comedians that don't believe, and but they respect me in my faith because I respect them and their belief. And the one thing for me is that, comedians are harsh, man. They can come out with some jokes like crazy. I remember back then, my wife bought me this WWJD bracelet, and my friend came up to the bar, and I was gonna get a water, right? And he comes up and he says, "Yeah, bartender, let me have what he has on his arm." And I go, "What's that? You want to know about Jesus?" He goes, "No, white wine and Jack Daniels." Right? I go, "Wow, wow." So that's when I knew comedy was my ministry. I knew that I was called to something bigger. I knew that I was called for something that was going to help people somehow, some way, whether it be through the gift of laughter, which is like a medicine. And, bringing joy to people is what I enjoy. Is it not? It's going to be non-offensive, and it's going to be funny, and it's going to be solid, because it's just when you can say a joke that a feeling. I've witnessed that firsthand. A friend of mine, I said an off-color joke, if you will, and he let me know that it bothered him. He was offended by it. And that to me was not what I was about. And I told him, and I gave him my word that I would never do that joke again, and never did, because it's just a part of who I am. And if you're feeling, I was in a place, long story short, if you want to know how I came to know the Lord, I know I probably might be losing viewers this day, but it's okay. I'm cool with it. And I hope you guys can bear with me. I don't mean to offend anybody, but it's just, for me, I know there's people out there that are going through the same thing that I was going through, whether it be depression, loneliness, whatever it is. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever it is your issue is, I didn't realize that there was someone that you go to. I didn't realize there was a way out. I didn't realize there was a light at the end of the tunnel. For myself, I caught my ex-fiance cheating on me, and it led me to the bottle. I was drinking myself to sleep. I remember I went to Del Rio, and I was doing a show out there, and I was just venting. And back then, I was a dirty, filthy comedian. I was cursing. I was venting. I was F this, F that, all the way down the line. And I realized, I came home one day, and I remember I walked in my apartment. I lived by myself. It was the loudest silence I ever heard in my life. And I said to myself, wow. I remember locking my front door, went in my bedroom, locked that door. I live by myself, mind you. And I went under my blanket and I said, God, if you're there, hook me up, because I'm dying here. I'm dying here. I'm drinking myself to sleep. And the only thing I had going for me at this time, and I mean this in this order, was comedy and my daughter, Gabby. That was the only thing I had to keep me going. And I would pawn my daughter off on my parents just so I could go vent out of town, go to a different town, different show. And I did the whole entertainer thing, sleeping with different women left and right. And it was getting drunk and just getting crazy is what I was doing. And I remember coming home and I said, God, if you're there, mind you, I'm asking God, if you're there, hook me up, take care of me, because I'm dying. And sure enough, I wind up 2 days later meeting my wife. And I remember asking my wife if she wanted to go to the club. And she goes, no, I'm actually going to church. And my wife is absolutely gorgeous to me at the time, and now too. But at that time, we're both younger, and I remember I was like, wow, hallelujah. I didn't know God could make something so beautiful, because I honestly thought every Christian woman was like Amish, and found out that was not true. And believe it or not, I always heard there's some really good women at church. Well, I didn't think there was some fine women at church, because this one here was fine, big time. And I was like, wow, okay. And I remember I went to her church, went to a non-denominational church, and I just felt they wanted my money, So she goes, look, don't give them your money. Just come and receive and understand. And I said, okay. Well, I kept giving her excuses. And finally, the third time, she goes, look, I've been inviting you to church. You want to come? I get it. But when we were dating, you asked me, what do you want in a relationship? And you said, I'm looking for a God-fearing man. I said, well, I'll help you find him. And she said, well, she goes, if this is not you, I understand. I'll pray for you that you find the right woman that you're looking for. But I told you I'm not settling for anything else. I deserve better. I know my worth, and that's where I'm at. And I was like, wow, that was deep. That was strong. And I was like, I didn't want her to go anywhere. So I started going to church. I went 3 weeks in a row not paying attention to one word this pastor said. And I said, if I'm going to be coming, I might as well listen. And I kid you not, that morning, I listened. And I was there at the end of the day. I mean, at the end of the service, I'm over there at the altar. I don't know what happened. My mom and dad, and I was like, just going to town. And it finally, when I got up from that altar, man, I'll tell you what, I felt like a load was lifted off my back. And I felt light as a feather. I wanted to tell everybody about my newfound Jesus, and found out nobody wanted to know about Jesus. Nobody. So that was kind of interesting. But we're going to take a short break, guys. When we come back, we're going to find out exactly how he saved a wretch like me, and find out exactly what I'm talking about. So don't go anywhere. We'll do a roll call when we come back to you.
Innocent people are unexpectedly injured. You are not alone. One man has made it his mission to fight for you. With millions recovered for his clients and over 20 years' experience handling injury cases, he'll ride with you till the end. If you or a loved one have been injured in a motor vehicle crash or on the job, Marco Crawford Law is the firm you want to choose.
We come from all walks of life, all races, all genders, all styles. We are more than a rock school, more than the art of dance. We are a destination for art, creativity, performance, and community. We are Anthem. Join us in our mission, enriching the lives of every student through the power of belief.
So you guys are getting still the behind the scenes. I can't. Let me. I'll read them. Oh, you weren't even watching. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Jeez. Hey, Alexia, how you doing?
You by yourself today?
I am. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good to
How
see
are
you. Good.
He needs a helper.
I'm actually. Do you have anything you want to showcase?
I was gonna say, no. We could put something up for Easter. We're not taking any more orders. It's going to be on a walk-in basis now.
Okay, but I mean, if you don't, we could just skip it to next week. That's fine. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll have you say hello here in a second. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. I'm doing the special how Cleto came to know the Lord Holy Week kind of thing today. So it's interesting. I was like, well, let's get to know Cleto today. So, all right, guys, we're back, and I tell you, again, it's a different kind of show today. Getting to know a little bit about myself, but we gotta say hello to Alexia here, everybody, the owner of Nadler's right here. Look at that! Yay! She is right here, folks. I just didn't want you to think she wasn't here. She's here. She's busy, and she's been busy with a lot of the Easter stuff you guys got going on.
Yep, Easter's this weekend.
That's right.
Already so fast.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. I gotta get my mentally right, to where I got family coming over that I haven't seen all year, and I gotta get my mind right.
I hear you. I understand.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and
right.
come by to see her, guys. Make sure you come by.
Bye. Thank you.
So did you get the comments there? They're not popping up. So no more. So again, like I said, we probably don't have. Yeah, if you're on here, guys, make sure to comment so I'll know you're on here. Again, we are celebrating what's trending, which is Holy Week this week. And again, to a lot of folks out there, appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to me kind of tell my testimony, if you will. And I've had people in the past tell me, Cleto, why is it that what is it? Why is it your faith is so? People think it's because of my experience with COVID that I just found Jesus, and I just this one guy, I'll never forget when I was in ICU, I had some guy say, yeah, he almost died, so now he gave his life to Christ, and just like those guys in prison. I'm like, no, it's nothing like that. I've been going to church beforehand, and one of the best things I love doing is serving, pretty much. And I'm a greeter at church, and which leads me to think that which leads me to think that I could be a greeter at Walmart if I could. I mean, I love it. I love greeting people. Found out I wasn't supposed to leave a tip jar, but I found that out. It's voluntary. And but anyway, with that said, I was in, speaking of COVID, I was in the ICU during COVID, caught me really bad. And, I've seen God appear. I mean, not so much appear in the visual sense, but there's been certain times that I've known that he's used me to relate messages to other people. I know that there's times when I need a miracle and he shows up. And it's just a matter of whether, and it's not about whether you're good or bad. It's just you trust and believe that he existed and he was real and that he did, die on the cross and was crucified, died and buried, and then rose again. That's the story this week. That's the moral of the story. I mean, he rode in on a donkey on Sunday, Palm Sunday, and then was crucified the end of the week. I mean, you think about someone having a bad week. I mean, that's it right there. Even on my worst week, I couldn't imagine something like that. And again, we all have our bad days. We all have our good days. We all have our issues. We all have our storms. And I guess I bring this up because I want you to know that you're not alone in this. You're not alone. He can get you through anything. Do not think that, hey, it's all, it's never going to change. It's never going to be this way. It's never going to be helpful. No, you start believing in this person. And for me, it got me away from a lot of things that I didn't need in my life anymore. And sometimes it's that inner cleansing that you need to say, you know what, I want something different. But again, guys, it's not on Cleto's time. It's not on your friend's time. It's on God's time. Whatever, whenever he calls you and tells you, hey, you know what? This is what I want for you. I want the best for you. I want you to understand you're not alone. I want you to understand that you are precious to me. You're a gem. If you're feeling like that, and if some of you out there have told me, I tune into this show because it gets me through. Well, I'll tell you what, it's more than this show. It's more than this show. I mean, it's more, to me, Christ, how am I not going to talk about him when I pray that he helps this show, that he prays, I pray that he opens the doors to different avenues, different platforms. We're already there. We're on different platforms right now and it's still growing. And I just can't thank him enough for hearing my heart and knowing that, you know what, this is minimal compared to what other people are going through. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand. But there's nothing too big or too small that he can't help you with. He can get you through. And again, like I said, I know that in some eyes, man, this guy's sabotaging his show right now, talking about this. Well, why wouldn't I? He wasn't done with me in that ICU. He said, you got a second chance at life. Do something with it. My wife told me, what are you going to do with your life? You got a second chance at it. What are you going to do? Well, if I choose to do more for him than myself, then that's it. That's where I'm at. And I thank him for blessing me with all of you guys. All of you guys that tune in, and it does not matter to me today because this is honesty. This is truth. This is where I'm at in my life. And I know a lot of people care enough about me to already know this about me. And, but it's like, my prayer now has been, God, you know what? Let me see them the way you see them. Let me love them the way you love them. Let me pray for them the way you pray for them. Let me forgive them the way you forgive them. If there's somebody that you need to forgive, guys, trust me on this one. I know that's a hard pill to swallow. When you've been betrayed, you've been burned, you've been hated on. I get it. Man, I get it. It's hard sometimes to turn that other cheek. It's hard sometimes to turn that other cheek. But at times, that's what we got to do. Because it's for your purpose. It's for your own being. And at the lowest point of my life, he came and rescued me. At the most detrimental point in my life with my health in ICU, he came and he saved me. He's not done. And you know what? I myself have so much, it's almost to a fault sometimes when you feel like you care about so many different people that you don't even know about, people that you see on the street, I used to drive by a lot of the people that the Lord says take care of. And I would drive by like nothing. And then as I started getting closer and closer to him, I started feeling his presence, how he feels and sees them. And that's where I'm at. Yeah, I love doing stand-up. I love doing comedy. I love writing jokes. But I also love, and this is a lot of stuff I do behind the scenes that nobody knows about. And that's fine. I mean, I'm not here to brag about it at all. Not one bit. Because it's not for me. The glory is not for me. It's for him. And I bring all this up because it being Holy Week, there's no other time to start with a clean slate than this week. There's a word that I had to get used to, and that was repentance. That was kind of rough for me because I used to use my sin as a security blanket, and I kept going back to it. But I wanted something different. I wanted a different outcome with the same routine. And the Lord said, I got you. And he did. I just had to get in my word. I had a want to be different. I had a want to have a relationship with the one person that said, you know what? I'm going to die on that cross for you. Come on, folks. I have some brothers on here from church that come on, and it's interesting. It's interesting to see how he works. And if you give him a chance, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And it's the best blessing in life is choice. And that's the very best blessing he ever gave us was choice. It's your choice, not mine. It's yours. I made mine already. And that's where I'm at today. And I just wanted to touch a little bit on it because it's one of those things that it's part of me. A lot of people are like, okay, we know this side of you already, the funny side. What's the other side like? What's the other side like? It's this. Again, you're looking at somebody that's not perfect. You're looking at somebody that been through it and is willing to share his experience with you guys. So, yeah, definitely Nathaniel, my producer, we definitely want to pray for the people in Baltimore that are going through that horrible, what seems like an accident now. I mean, they're still investigating, but it's just, you never know, guys. You never know what's going to happen from 1 minute to the next. You never know that, we say tomorrow I'll be here, but we don't know if tomorrow's guaranteed. And, when we come back from this break, we're going to find out my final thoughts on Holy Week. And I want to thank all of you guys that are still on here for being part of this. I appreciate it, and just let me speak my heart. So you guys are awesome, and I want to thank our live audience for being, awesome and being here, and don't go anywhere. We'll be back, and when we come back, like I said, we're gonna do another roll call if we can, and see who's still on here. And so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Good morning, San
And
Antonio.
you guys,
Now, the Where's Cleto Show with Vanessa Martin. Join Cleto and Vanessa for a dash of San Antonio spirit. From foods and entertainment, destinations and more, sharing laughs and local stories with you. Tune in live on location, where San Antonio's heart beats the loudest. The Where's Cleto Show with Vanessa Martin, keeping it San Antonio.
My name is Michael Lugo. I have the Lugo Group with San Antonio Portfolio Keller Williams Heritage. So the biggest life lesson that I've learned thus far, to never take things for granted. I've been through quite a bit in my career. I've really hit rock bottom. I've failed numerous times, and I never gave up. And that's, something that I've always learned and will continue to do. Through all the obstacles and adversities I've been through, I'm extremely blessed to be at where I'm today, and very grateful that I can continue helping families get into their dream homes.
at 11 o'clock, because yours truly is going to be on San Antonio Living tomorrow, promoting the bingo. So you got to understand, my family's cracking jokes on me right now. It's okay. I know God don't like ugly. Anyway, so they wind up. I'll be on San Antonio Living tomorrow at 10 o'clock promoting the bingo for handbags. Bingo for handbags. And so we'll be promoting that tomorrow. And at 11 o'clock, we're going to go live from Dominion Med Spa. So that's our newest sponsor. So we're very excited about that. So it's going to be, I might be getting injections. I don't know. So we'll see. But I hope you guys, have a wonderful Easter. I know you guys are going to be gathering with family. And, don't sweat the small stuff, folks. Whatever you do, don't sweat the small stuff. Friday, we're going to be talking a little bit about how to deal with family on Easter, with Tammy and Lord willing. So we'll see how that goes. And but other than that, I definitely just wanted to tell you my final thought. And again, before I do that, make sure to go like our Facebook page. We're trying to get to 1,000 viewers. This is probably, we're getting newer viewers every day, every week. So we'd like to go ahead and get this Facebook page to 1,000 at least. So we're at 740 or something like that. So you go to Where's Cleto with Vanessa Martin Facebook page. I would appreciate it. Like it, share it, send it to your friends, and that would be awesome. So now I kind of want to touch base on my final thoughts on Holy Week. A lot of us are, again, a lot of us deal with different kinds of issues, and there is that Savior, if you will, that I thank God for His Son, for coming into my life, for making me a better person, and I know there's going to be a time, or I know there's a time right now where it's not the most popular thing. That's okay. I'm fine. I mean, I like to live like a rebel, I guess, and so did he, in a sense. And but He's so good. God is so good that I wanted to be able to share a little of my love, my faith, and my Heavenly Father, just to say thank you for just being there when I need Him and being there for everybody, and also for just favor, and being able to, and I'm trying hard not to get emotional here because this is such a big thing for me. And to be able to do it on this platform, to be able to do this, it's like no other show. Now, it's not going to be every day, but at the same time, it's me being able to be me and tell you the other side of me. And it was I thought a great idea when my producer came up with it. I'm sure he's probably regretting that thought now, as the numbers are not probably as big as they are, but you never know who's watching. You never know who's feeling lonely. You never know who's feeling depressed. You never know who's dealing with a loss, a breakup. And these are serious issues that go on every day. One thing I posted on Facebook the other day that I heard in church was, the enemy knows your name, but he calls you by your sin. God knows you by your sin, but he calls you by your name. That hit me right between the eyes, because that's how he is. He understands what's in front of you. And as much as I can be, as transparent as I can be, it is what it is. You guys are blessed, and you're not alone. And if you have, I know it's a different show, but if you have a special need for prayer, message me, private message me, DM me, and let me know, hey, Cleto, I'm dealing with this right now. Hey, Cleto, keep my family in prayer. Hey, Cleto, I just lost a loved one. Can you keep my whole family in prayer? Absolutely. Absolutely. And, it's not the, I always ask myself, how come I never made it in Hollywood? And I really feel that God was protecting me from something that I didn't need to be part of. And I thought I was talented enough. I thought I had what it took. And I was a little disappointed. And a lot of people out there, I know, blame God for not being where they are or where they wanted to be. But understand something. You may have not been able to get to that point, but it's probably for a reason. He was probably protecting you from something. Probably protecting you from you. So I knew how I was. I knew how ambitious I was. And I know that I probably would have done anything just to be like some of my friends that are out and about and rich and popular and hit show and all that stuff. But if I had to trade that in, and they just to miss out on my relationship with Christ, I would, nope, not gonna happen. No way. Because it's just too valuable. Too valuable. So let me do one more roll call and see what we got going on here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Nathaniel said, pray for the people in Baltimore. Yep, we'll definitely be doing that. Raymond Coronado, God bless you. Gina says, real talk. Nathaniel, right on, man. And using your God-given talent to minister to your fans. I tell people that I have the best fans. They're loyal. They're awesome. They are awesome. And I might not have as many as a lot of my friends, but I have enough, and I have the best fans out there. And to have them follow me over here on this journey it's exciting because we're going to go through it together, and we're going to be blessed together. And we used to have like a lot of people come out to Nadler's and other places, but it's interesting because the weather plays a role, jobs play a role, all kinds of different things play a role. And anyway, I don't want to get off on another tangent, but I just wanted to say that, guys, as you approach, we're already halfway done with Holy Week, and we're coming up on Good Friday. Whatever your faith is, or if you don't believe, and if you don't believe and there's something that you feel is missing in your life, it might be, take a chance. Take a chance. What do you got to lose? On this man who said, you know what, I'll pay the price for you. I'll pay the price for you. And his precious blood is what I'm thankful for. And he knows each and every one of your hearts. And just like a dad, he just wants you to go to him. And I can tell you firsthand, I was not a big believer. I was not an atheist. I knew of the God. I just didn't have a relationship with him. And then when I did, it was the best choice I ever made in my life. And he's been able to help me in so many different areas: finance, marriage, being a father. He guides you. So, sit back, give him the wheel, watch him work. Watch him work. Just tonight, if that's you, just call on him. Just call on him and say, hey, if you're there, help me. That's simple. That's it. And you'll see exactly. And just sit back and watch him work. Well, guys, thank you so much for letting me be me today. And I didn't know how if I was even gonna mention anything about my Heavenly Father this week, because I know the show is all about being, being about jokes and laughter, and that's what we are. That's what we are about. We'll never get away from that. But just wanted to, give you a different side of me. And if you know anybody that is going through something, share this one. Say, hey, look, you know what? We know him as being funny. We know him as telling jokes, but you got to listen to this today. Something different today. Something different about him. And once that happens, again, sit back and watch God work. So thanks for hanging in there with me, guys. Tomorrow, like I said, we'll start at 11 o'clock. Start at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Tune in then. I'll be putting it on Facebook. Make sure to like our page. If you have anybody that might want to be a sponsor for the show, tell them to message me or Anthem TV. And then also, if you know somebody that wants to be a guest on our show or want to promote an event, let us know. We'd love to have them on the show and love to showcase them and use this platform. All right. So, guys, I just thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Easter with your family, your friends. Again, if there's somebody you need to forgive, tomorrow is never guaranteed. So make it right. Make every wrong right today. And again, see how you'll feel. So blessings to you all. And I will sign off now and probably go get some of these delicious treats at Nadler's, So, all right, guys, have a good one. Take care. God bless you. See ya.
Innocent people are unexpectedly injured. You are not alone. One man has made it his mission to fight for you. With millions recovered for his clients and over 20 years' experience handling injury cases, he'll ride with you till the end. If you or a loved one have been injured in a motor vehicle crash or on the job, Marco Crawford Law is the firm you want to choose.
Good morning, San Antonio. Now, the Where's Cleto Show with Vanessa Martin. Join Cleto and Vanessa for a dash of San Antonio spirit. From foods and entertainment, destinations and more, sharing laughs and local stories with you. Tune in live on location, where San Antonio's heart beats the loudest. The Where's Cleto Show with Vanessa Martin, keeping it San Antonio.